Hey, good evening. In telling the story of post World War II America and its economy, I decided to focus on Ray Kroc, the entrepreneur who took McDonald's from an eight-store small regional chain and transformed it into a global brand that you could label as a behemoth. Everybody knows McDonald's. There's one in every town across the country. So, looking at the post-World War II economy, it definitely boomed. You have people coming out of a war. They've been at war for 4 years. Uh, as to go even further back, they've been in a Great Depression for a decade and a half. And so there's lots of money that starts to creep into the economy. You've got the automobile that begins to transform life. People are traveling all over the place. Um, they're moving, they're going on vacations. Uh, Different businesses come up out of that automobile, uh, such as McDonald's, a quick service restaurant. Um, so, also, you've got the United States government is focused on increasing, quote, the economy. Okay. The history of the future of economic growth, there's an essay in there that talks about that they wanted to expand the economy in order to directly compete with Eastern communism. They wanted Western capitalism to outpace and outshine this Soviet communism that its economy was also booming at the same time. So they wanted to find different ways to ensure that America was going to win this portion of the Cold War. So you've got Ray Kroc, who started off as a milkshake mixing machine salesman. He ends up partnering up with these two brothers, McDonald's brothers, who had an eight-store small chain that wanted to keep it small. But Ray Kroc came in, saw that they had created this thing that they called the Speedy Service System. That was an assembly line taken right from a page in Henry Ford's book to create or to make hamburgers and to crank them out into customers' hands as quickly as possible. But Ray Kroc thought that it could be done better, that you could make sure that it was an exact science. You could have the exact weight of the patty being 1.6 ounces. You could have the exact temperature that it would be heated to before it was pushed on down the line. So Ray Kroc bought the McDonald's company from the McDonald's brothers and quickly spread it across the country. His method of doing or cooking efficiently and quickly, it spread all over. It was cheap. It was easy. It afforded people the ability to eat on the run. And so this sounds great. And it made a lot of money. It made a lot of money for Kroc. It made other people money. But when we take into consideration what that type of economic output does to communities, especially when looking at the writings of Wendell Berry and the humane vision of Wendell Berry, it turns people into faceless just numbers. They're not part of a community. They're not part of an area that has to interact with each other. When you've got a faceless corporation that comes in and they're selling their product, it's so cheap that you almost can't help but buy it. It's as they said in the Wendell Berry writing, that it's this industrial economy is anti-human and anti-community. It's not really about like what's best for people or what's best for that area. It's what's best for efficiency and turning a profit. So Barry goes on to talk about how people like gave the responsibility of various things to these corporations. They use these corporations as proxies. They went to these corporations for the production of their food and other necessities. It talks about even today that people pay people other people in corporations to care for their children. So looking at Ray Kroc, he made an efficient and uh, likable product, but it did not do much for the people involved in this. And I think that's what really matters.